Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh.
Wow. I
Ugh.
wish we could
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
tie and Eric.
Um, I don't know how else to freak that. I was gonna get real nasty with it, but I'm happy
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't think we should be going there this early in the episode. Maybe near the end when the all of the wussies have dropped off.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Stick around for the 23rd minute mark for
Yeah, that's
some nasty ass
getting
shit.
some really freaky things happening later on this episode. But for now, let's start with more of a baseline of like how we are doing. How are we doing, Eric?
Oh, just fan-fucking-tastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I forced you to watch a movie the other day,
Dude.
and you're a known movie hater.
Mhm.
However, I thought it'd be nice for me to recommend you something, and then for you to recommend me something to fill my time with. How
Mhm.
did you like that?
It's true. It's true. I watched a film. I think like the medium of this message here, Eric. I watched a film, and as you know, and the breadheads probably know too, I believe movies are for children, and I think that this movie
So
is
annoying.
no exception.
Whenever you say that, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time, and it just irks me so much. It's like pisses me off so much. How could you possibly think that?
Because every time I watch a movie, I realize, oh yeah, I can see how this is for children, and there's never been a situation where that isn't the case.
But do you think you're just watching bad movies?
Pornographic films don't count, by the way.
Those are motion pictures.
Yeah, fair. A lot of
Um,
motion.
So okay, what makes you think that? And also, like, are you watching, like, what the fuck are you watching that you think every movie's for kids?
I guess I'm watching movies for kids. I watch a lot of animated movies.
This guy's watching SpongeBob, and he's like, damn, dude, shows suck these days. It's like, no, you're just watching something for kids.
Explore some themes.
Yeah, exactly. But even SpongeBob has like adult themes kind of baked in that you would only understand if you're a parent watching with your kid, you know?
Yeah, it's true, but you have to also deal with the children's themes that are layered on top of that. Like, there's no just like hard, cold, boring film about getting like audited by the IRS.
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
There's definitely ones.
You have
Yeah.
to reco that.
Yeah, there's any possible adult theme you can think of has been filmed.
Okay. Well, okay. Here's my challenge to you. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like
Okay.
scary movies.
Okay.
Too scary. I don't even really like thrillers too much. Too thrilling. Find me the most adult film for adults with adult themes that is not a scary movie.
Okay. That's
Okay,
pretty
here's
easy.
your
I can think
challenge.
of two right away.
Wow, good for you.
Okay, well, if kids are
If there is even a theme that I can derive for children in it, then I'm calling you out on it.
okay, well, I'm thinking of one that obviously has children in it. They're a center point in the story. However, it's not for children. And I mean, children could watch it and feel something, that's for sure. But I don't know, I guess.
Interesting. Okay.
So, okay, the movie Kramer versus Kramer
Oh.
is a divorce movie.
Oh.
Yeah, two parents who are fighting in court for custody of their child after their marriage just falls apart.
Oh, no child wants to watch that.
Exactly. I mean, they could.
Okay, well, I will give that one a view then.
It's a good
We'll
one.
see
It's a really good
see what
one.
happens.
Yeah.
I do like Kramer.
I think Dustin
It's very
Hoffman
funny.
is in it. Yeah.
But this movie we just watched, Ladri di Bicicletta or Bicycle Thieves, is supposedly a classic.
Oh yeah, absolutely a classic. I think it was filmed in the 50s.
I have 1948 written down in my notes, an Italian neorealist drama film directed by Vittorio De Sica.
Hell yeah, dude. You have no idea how hype you just made me when you said neorealist.
Hell yeah. You are a neorealist a little bit, Lee.
Yeah, I really am.
Okay.
Bear with us because this is going to be a movie podcast episode.
I think we're probably going to talk about this film the whole time. But
yeah.
So maybe we should give the breadheads a little bit of a summary of what this silly little film is about.
Yeah, please do it.
Okay, so basically what happens is you got this like poor dude. He's a dad. Poor daddy.
Okay, maybe I should tell the story of what happens.
This is pretty good. He's poor daddy, lives in Rome. His name is Antonio Ricci. Okay, so you go from here.
Okay, let me pick up where you fumbled. So Ty, this movie was filmed. Okay, context matters here. Okay, I don't know if you.
I just gave I gave the set and the characters.
If you learned this in English class in high school, but The movie was filmed immediately following World War II in Italy, right? Obviously, because of the year.
Yeah, we already established that dum dum.
I know, but it's important to reiterate what we're trying to iterate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So obviously, in the movie, it starts out with everyone like kind of looking for jobs. Like no one's working because the war had just ended.
Mhm.
Italy is obviously in a financial ruined state, financially ruined, and there's this the opening scene is someone of power, I guess, is like handing out jobs to people and is
Mhm.
being like, okay, you get to do this job, you get to do this job, and okay, guys, we ran out of jobs, and there's like 30 people like looking, right?
Mhm.
Um, one guy is summoned, and he said like, okay, you get to do this job of putting up these posters around the city, and the only requirement is that you need a bicycle to get around.
Mhm.
And this guy is like, oh fuck, I don't have a bike, so I can't really do this job, can I? He's like, okay, I'll give it to someone else. He's like, no, 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 I do it. I do the
I can
job.
yeah, he can procure a
Yeah,
bicycle.
he's like, I'll get the bicicletta.
Just needs to sell everything he owns.
Exactly. So he goes to sell. Well, his wife sells their bed sheets, which
Yeah,
is
I thought
kind of
that was
funny.
kinda funny.
Yeah. So we don't need this. It's kind of funny because you don't really need them.
Dude, my college roommate clearly didn't need them.
Yeah, exactly. Your college roommate also like filled the lights with shit. More on that later.
Yeah, yeah, never if you see shit in your light on the ceiling, get new roommates. That's
Yeah, dude, kick out your roommate and call the plumber immediately.
exactly.
Um, but I won't spoil the movie. It's only 100 years old.
Mhm.
But rest of the movie, the guy gets his bike stolen, so he can no longer do the job. And then the rest of the movie, he's looking to get his bike back at all costs because right now, at this moment, this bike is his world. It's the only thing unlocking his future. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He's basically at a standstill. He could die poor.
For sure. So you end up watching the escapades of this sad father with he grabs his son. His son has to hang out with them because I guess they didn't invent elementary school at this point.
Mhm,
And the two of them wander, make escapades all around Rome, looking left, right, and center for this bicycle, getting in all sorts of trouble. We won't spoil the ending, but it was quite the journey, a hero's journey of
mhm,
sorts.
mhm. I think we have to spoil it to talk
Yeah, who cares?
in detail about it.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it by now, I mean, it's only 80 years old.
It's the most predictable ending you could have imagined, which is
Don't
he
say that.
oh, come on, it's the first thing I thought. He's gonna steal a bike at the end.
Yeah, but it's not really the act that is unpredictable. Like, yes, the ending, if you think of it as like he's gonna turn evil, is yeah, maybe it's predictable.
Mhm.
But you gotta think about when this movie was made. It's like 40s. They didn't know how to make movies back then. You know what I mean? It's like no one was predicting anything because this is probably like a new thing. Like, you know?
I guess so, and I could see how, like, at that point, we hadn't really, pre-established these kinds of, like, plots and stuff, like,
Yeah.
this probably paved the way for Star Wars. It's the same plot. M Man starts good, goes evil, son observes that, and then probably also goes evil.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
literally Star Wars.
Damn.
Crazy.
Okay, but the thing that he does might be predictable, but I guess the like fallout of it is unpredictable. And
Yeah.
like maybe the whole movie is like it's building up to that point where it's like I know this thing's gonna happen, and then it's like there's tension building the whole time. It's like it's looking more and more dire for him, and then
Mhm.
eventually when it happens, you're like, no, like you're doing the thing that we all knew you were gonna do, and then that's the emotional part, right? And then you
Mhm.
see what happens afterwards. Like is unsuccessful, he gets caught, and you can see it in his son's eyes. He's like, "Damn, like the only respect I had for you is gone." You
Totally.
know what I mean?
It's like we're after 300 attempts to make a Subway podcast, we pivot to a movie podcast, and our listeners say, "Damn, this is where all podcasts eventually end up."
Yeah.
Shout out to our original.
Anyways, yeah, shout out to Pat and George. The only reason I wanted you to watch this movie, Ty, was because I want to discuss films with you.
Mm,
Because I think you have a passion, for lack of a better word, for storytelling, getting a reaction from people. Movies are like designed to elicit an emotional response, right? Everyone takes something different from them. And
mhm. They also teach children how to navigate the world.
Yeah, or how not to.
or how not to.
Um,
Don't trust your dad as
yeah, well, I don't know what this one taught me, to be
well.
honest, but there was a scene where they eat mozzarella sandwiches. Maybe we can tie that one back to Subway.
Yeah, that was sick. I liked how they were like eating mozzarella sandwiches, and they're like, rich people get to eat more food than this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought, like, oh man, that's how every Subway enjoyer feels.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. It's like whenever you get the 6 inch, you're like, "See, honey, rich
Mhm.
people can get 12."
Yeah. One day we'll get 12 inches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, I did have a lot of thoughts on this movie.
Yeah, please.
It did solicit a lot of responses from me. I should caveat to the breadheads that this is a black and white film and also subtitles on the entire time because they're speaking in
Italian.
Italian.
Yep.
And I felt like
Really? Come
dude, this
on.
is the farthest removed.
Damn, yeah, dude. The whole time you're waiting for Subway Surfers to kick in.
Exactly. But I was able to grin and bear it. I got through. I actually did enjoy the film. I will say I enjoyed it. I liked the film.
Yes.
And I thought that the emotional kind of build up that you spoke to was really easy to connect with. It was an effortlessly done
Mhm.
body of work. There were like some weird things there. And like there's a lot of things I learned from it. Like I learned that people in our modern age don't say capiche enough.
Yeah.
I think we need to bring that back. Capiche?
Mhm.
Yeah.
My parents would say it to me when they are scolding me, which is kinda cool.
Capiche.
I might pass that on to my kids, that trauma.
Yeah, I'm bringing it to my artist. you know, Italian herb and cheese. Capiche?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that quite a bit.
Mhm.
There's, like, almost, like, some symmetry with the word caprese. It's
Mhm.
like,
Ooh, dude, the iambic pentameter of that is very, very
whoa.
satisfying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what else did you learn from it?
Oh, wow. I learned that even if you're a handsome dude, you can still be down bad. And
Mhm.
our modern world kind of doesn't really tell us that, you know? They say, like, if you got a chiseled, looks maxed jawline and you're well dressed, you'll be
Mhm.
successful. But this guy, he was a good looking dude. He was tall. He's got the three piece, and oh, he's down bad.
Yeah. You're talking about the guy who almost fainted when he got pressed?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'm talking about the guy that yeah, he was a little bit weak in the knees, but no, the father,
Oh, the father.
the
Oh, okay.
father is like clearly a protagonist
Yeah,
type,
yeah, yeah.
like Hollywood type, playing a guy who can't get a job. Like, dude could get a job. He could be in whatever the 1948 equivalent of a pornographic film is. Like, try
Yeah.
something. Like, think more creatively.
Mhm. That's true. Do you think people in the '40s were nostalgic for the '20s?
Yeah, probably. They're like, I wish I could have been a soldier. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Men
Um,
men were men were men back then.
yeah, no kidding. One thing I really noticed is, like, even if you had just wrapped up a world war,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? You had just debriefed on the Nazi invasion, and, you have literally nothing to your name, you still look nice.
Mhm.
Like, everyone's wearing, like, a suit, and it makes me think, like, during the pandemic here, everyone immediately put on their sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like, we had a global ceremony of everyone putting on their sweatpants
Shout
and,
out
like, not changing out of them for the next 3 years.
1000% shout out to Fear God.
Yeah. Dude,
Sponsor of this episode.
essentials really popped off in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this, like it's really weird, like, even, like, the broy dudes back then wore the three-piece suit with the top hat.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like, imagine, like, the douchiest guy you know wearing a full, like, head to toe suit. He's got the pointy shoes on. He's got the hat that you tip top of the morning. You know, it's crazy. Like, the
Mhm.
poorest people dress the most formally, and it's kind of ironic,
Yeah.
especially reflecting on modern times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do really appreciate that about old society, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Even like, I think that goes all the way up to, like, the '80s. Like, the '80s, like, everyone was wearing, like, a suit to work, you know what I mean? I kinda
mhm.
long for that, like, people putting in effort.
I mean, there's pros and cons. Okay, so think about it this way, Eric. Like, none of this entire movie plot would not have happened if this dude worked from home. If he just worked from home, he wouldn't have got his bicycle stolen. There would
Mhm.
be no bicycle.
It would have been called, like, MacBook Thieves.
Yeah, it would have been called time theft.
Yeah. But think about it, the equivalent today is, like, you're working at a cafe on your, DTC, like, kombucha business,
Mhm.
and then someone swipes your laptop from your gentrified cafe.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. I looked away from my M3 chip on the Apple Mac
Mhm,
Air just to sip this oat milk latte, and
mhm.
when I turned back, it was gone.
Yeah, somebody broke into my fully converted Sprinter van and stole my Chemex.
Damn.
And now and now my mobile coffee shop is no longer.
I always had a funny, like, relationship with the Chemex because it's, like, the most meth labby object a normal person can
Yeah.
like, you really.
Yeah, that is true. Combine that with a nice gooseneck.
Oh, yeah. Like, what are you cooking?
Oh, dude, 100%. Are
Damn.
you
Made a
cooking
mealie off
goose?
the stove.
Yeah, dude. Um,
I got one last point for you, and it's probably
okay.
the most meaty
Oh,
point
let's
from
hear it.
this entire thing, which is that, like, it is I thought this movie was the best representation of male emotional processing, because what happens is this dude, family man, gets his bike stolen, and then, like, all other dudes, instead of, like, coming to terms with what he was experiencing emotionally, he hit his kid and then focused all of his energy into his mode of transportation. He's like the original car guy, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that's, like, there's a masculine urge to that, just be like, "Oh, I need to focus more on, like, how I get around."
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so he okay, you can see the frustration building in him, right?
Mhm.
Because the first thing he does is try to get it back, and he enlists the help of others. So, including the police. Um, and then once the all of his efforts are futile, the frustration is just building and building, and then he hits this kid who is just causing problems for him at this moment. It's
I don't
like,
know why he even brought the kid. Like, was it his day, like, was he on day shift and mom's on nights and weekends, or.
mhm. I don't know, man. There's something about the father-son dynamic there that it just makes the movie like
Yeah, I kinda felt like I was watching, like, Ash Ketchum take around a Pokemon.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this Pokemon's name is Bruno.
Bruno. Bruno.
Bruno, shut the fuck up.
Dude, yeah, and honestly, the kid was not he did more than he was credited. He should probably deserve more recognition as a child attempting to help, but he wasn't that helpful, so I would've
Mhm.
left him at home.
Yeah.
Left the little stinker with Mama Maria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, what's mama doing? She just went to the psychic every day. I was like, "How the
Mhm.
fuck do I deal with
Oh,
this?"
yeah, like, she's at hot yoga, she's gassing it up with the girlfriends at brunch. We saw it happen in the film.
Yeah.
She's a yapper.
Yeah, she's getting a lymphatic massage.
Mhm, yeah, well, this Antonio Ricci's hands look like this, so hers can look like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
so I don't know, the male emotional processing, just that really stuck with me because that hasn't changed since 1948, you know?
yeah, dude. Um, but it's also like a real, like, action-oriented kinda guy, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's, like, solution-oriented, like, "Let me see how I can fix this problem before I even come home tonight." Like, I'm not coming home until I get my bike back.
Dude,
That's the ultimate male move
that's
right there.
100% my attitude with most
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah. I
is
can't bear to come home to my wife and tell her what's going on.
for sure, I'd rather be like a cat roaming the night than come home and deal with that shame. Getting in some fights. And this guy got in a lot of fights with the other street men, with the
Mhm.
ops, with
Yeah.
his son.
One
Dude.
other thing that I think is missing from today's culture is, like, the ability for men to go up to someone and just, like, press them.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like, that's, like, something that doesn't exist anymore. As soon as you, like, tell someone something because 'cause they're annoying you or, like, "Hey, can you turn down that music?" Or, "Hey, like, you have my bike, like, where is it?" Like, that doesn't exist anymore. People are just too pussy to say anything.
You can't even make eye contact with a stranger anymore. Like,
Mhm.
I think that's why we like Subway so much because it's an opportunity for banter with a stranger.
Really?
Maybe. It's one of the many
I don't know. I think people would rather order online and pick up.
to avoid the banter.
Exactly. I think people will do anything at all costs to avoid banter.
Well, maybe we need to bring it back, Eric. Maybe you need to start talking up people in line for your forthwith coffee.
Oh,
Maybe you need to pull up the Sprinter van to the park and start talking to children, just like this guy and
I need
his
to find
son.
my own Bruno.
You need to go pick any Bruno out on the slide or the swing set.
Yeah. God
There it
damn it.
is, folks, the 23-minute mark.
We got there right on
Yeah, we
time.
got there. No,
Fuck. So, okay. So, are we totally like movie pilled now? Are you a film critic now?
I'm not. I'm film curious for
Okay.
sure.
I think we need to get you on this movie train because based on what I know about you, you should in theory like them.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, you should like it, and I think it'd be fun to like unlock this new passion for you. You know what I
That
mean?
dude, this is starting to sound a little bit like Jim Jones of you.
Jim Jones?
Yeah, dude, you're gonna make me drink the juice, the Kool-Aid.
What the fuck? I don't know, man. I just think it'll be awesome.
Well, I will humor you a little bit longer. We'll see if we can break the cycle. Find if we can find 3 films in a row that aren't for children, then I will rest my case.
Cool. That is an important criteria to keep in mind
Mhm.
for me.
It's the critical eye.
Because sometimes, like, without knowing that about you, I might search for a movie with some childlike creativity and whimsy, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
to appeal to you.
Well, it's a dangerous
It's
game.
a dangerous game.
You
But
gotta
you're
think about, like, the, what do you call it? Like, the bias, the confirmation bias.
what do you mean?
Well, I'm gonna be watching that, eyes peeled, looking for any mention of children. Which
Jesus.
sounds really don't
Okay,
take it the wrong
Fogel.
way, yeah. Damn, me and Fogel got a lot of common, hey?
Damn. Did
Damn.
Fogel?
Yeah, he probably had a Bruno. I wonder if he had kids. We'll never know. I'm not Google.
No. Yeah, that can be taken multiple ways, I guess.
Mhm. Well, I think that's all we got on the docket today, Eric.
Okay, great, Ty. It was great podcasting with you.
You as well.
Um, yeah, next episode will be recap of my Japan trip. I'll
That's
have lots
right.
of notes for you, take lots of pics. I requested a reservation, a sushi. I paid $400 up front for a dinner that I don't even know if I can go yet.
Oh my god, $400 for a reservation?
Yeah.
Dude, we need to shut down Resi.
Yeah, dude. Japan Resi is off the rails.
Oh my god.
It's off the Shinkansen bullet train rails.
You better be eating that sushi off a naked woman if you're paying that much.
Yeah, 100%. It's a nigiri restaurant and looks really good. I'm still waiting to find out if I can go, so we'll see. They haven't confirmed the reservation for me yet.
I'm just surprised you're allowed to say that with a hard R. Yeah. It's a
I
bit
have to say it
dicey.
with a strong accent, or
Gotta
else,
use the accent for
yeah,
sure.
or else muscle memory will take over. Am I right?
It's a protective measure.
Jokes.
All right, breadheads. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed our film critique. And if you want more episodes like this, please let us know. I'm sure we could watch Super Size Me or something.
Bye bye.
Ciao.